students. I have come up with a new topic named Lines and Angles, which is the chapter number 5 in class 7. So, let us discuss what is there in this chapter and how to tell some tricks in order to make this chapter more easy. So, introduction. So, first, what is a line? We are going to see. From the lesson name itself, we are going to learn about what are lines and what are different types of angles. Okay, and we are going to see the applications of lines along with the angles by using parallel lines and transversal. So, first, we will come up with what is a line. So, line. What is a line? So, the line is a collection of infinite points arranged in an order. Arranged in an order is known as a line. I repeat, the line is a collection of infinite points arranged in an order. Okay, so the properties of line are line has no depth. We can't measure the length of line. And two sides of the line, they extend it till infinity. So we can't measure the length. So next one. The line has no breadth, no height. So we had learned what is a line. So the next we'll see what is a line segment. So what is a line segment? So line segment is a part of line. We can say the line segment is a part of line which has a specific length. We can measure this length by using scale. We can measure the length of line segment. And a line segment has fixed endpoints. Fixed endpoints. Okay, and we can say multiple line segments, they combine to form a line. Infinite line segments, they combine to form a line. So next, we are going with the third part. What is a ray? So what is a ray? A ray which has one starting point, but it does not have any ending point. Okay, a ray, the proper ray is a line segment. A ray is a line. We can say it has one starting point, but it does not have any ending point. And line, it can be represented with A, B line like this. Okay. And line segment, it can be represented as A, B line. And ray, it can be represented as A, B, J. So these are the representations of the line segment, and ray. And this we had already seen in the previous classes. Now let us move further. So next we are going to see what is an angle. So what is an angle? We are going to see next. Okay, so according what is an angle? So we know a starting point, and from this starting point, multiple rays can arise. We will consider only two rays. Okay, we will consider only two rays. That's all. Suppose some two rays only we will consider. So let us name this as O, and this as A, and this as B. Okay, so we had considered what is the first step? We had considered two rays, and they are drawn. So what is an angle here? An angle is formed when two rays start from a single point, and this is represented as angle. Okay, this is represented as angle, and this is the fixed ray, and this is movable ray. We can move this ray till this point. Okay, if you move this ray, the angle will differ. Okay, if you move this ray, the angle will differ. And we can say simply the definition of angle is that an angle is formed when a lines or line segments form to meet together. See, now we have two lines. When they meet together, and four angles are formed. One angle X, Y, Z, and W. Okay. So now we can say, so how can we measure the length of an angle? Okay, the angle is measured in the terms of degrees. Okay, the angle is measured in the terms of degrees. Okay, in the terms of degrees. Angle is measured in the terms of degrees by using an instrument called protractor. Using an instrument called protractor. So now we can find based on the degrees, the angles are classified into many types. So the first type we can say it as acute angle. acute angle. So what is an acute angle? When the angle, see, acute angle means when the angle between the two rays is less than 90. So we can say the acute angle, the rule of acute angle is, let us make this angle is theta. So this theta is less than 90, okay, and it is greater than 0. Less than 90, greater than 0. And this is first step of acute angle. And next, obtuse angle. We are going to see next one, it is right angle. After right angle, we'll see obtuse angle. So what is a right angle? When the angle between the two rays is 90, then we will say it as acute angle. Okay, so the theta will be always be equal to 90. Okay, the theta will be always be equal to 90. And this is, we can say it as acute angle. The third type of angle we are going to see is obtuse angle. This is the schematic diagram of obtuse angle. When the angle between the two rays is greater than 90, okay, then theta is greater than 90, but it is less than 180. We can say it as obtuse angle. And next one is straight angle. So, what is the meaning of straight angle? Straight angle means when the when the rays form an angle of 180 degrees. So theta we can say it as 180 degrees. Apart from this, there are two other angles. Two other angles. So now, if the two rays in coincident, the two rays coincident, they have two cases. Either it is 0 angle or 180. How to differentiate? The differentiation would be, if it is mentioned like this, a circle, then it is complete angle. Okay, then it is complete angle. Then the theta will be 360. Okay, if they didn't mention, then the theta will be 0 degrees, so it is known as 0. These are the various angles which had been classified based on the degrees. Okay, and next we are going to see what are complementary and supplementary angles. Okay, next we are having another type of angles, not based on any degrees. We have just complementary angles and supplementary angles. First, we'll see what is complementary angles. Okay, when the sum of the measures of the two angles, suppose angle x measure is x degrees and angle y degree. Sum of the measures of the two angles is equal to 90, then these two are known as complementary to each other. These two are known as complementary angles. Complementary angles. Okay, these two are known as complementary angles. And if two angles are complementary, each angle is said to be complement of the other. Okay. Okay, each angle is said to be the complement of the other. For example, if they give one angle is 30 degrees, how to find the complement of this? 90 minus 30 will be the complement of this. So 60 degrees will be the complement. So 30 and 60 are complementary angles because the sum of these two angles will be equal to 90. So this is complementary angles. Okay. So next we are going to see what are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles means when the sum of the two angles will be equal to 180 degrees. So supplementary angles. So supplementary angles means when the sum of the two angles will be equal to 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Okay, for example, 100 degrees and 80 degrees are supplementary angles. And here we say if they are complementary, one angle is the complement of other. And in supplementary, you can say one angle is the supplement of other. Supplement of other. So here we have completed this complementary supplementary angles. Okay, complementary angles means sum of two angles will be 90 and supplementary angles means sum of two angles is 180 degrees. So next we see what the adjacent angles. Okay, so what are adjacent angles? Okay, adjacent angles are the angles which are adjacent to each other. From the name itself we can say adjacent angles. Adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are the angles which are adjacent to each other. But we can't say all the angles are adjacent. No. So we have specific rules to identify whether the angles are adjacent or not. For example, O, A, B, C. So we have to prove whether these two angles are adjacent or not. We have to say whether these two angles are adjacent or not. There are some specific rules in order to confirm whether the angles are adjacent or not. The first rule is they should have common vertex. Okay, common vertex. The first rule is they should have common vertex. See, they have a common vertex. O is the common vertex. So next, they should have second rule is common arm. Common arm. See, OB is the common arm. We have OB common arm also. So next, the two non-common arms, they should be either side of the common arm. This is the third one. So see, this is the common. The two non-common arms, they are either side of these common arms. So if all these conditions are satisfied, then we can say the pair of angles as adjacent angles. If the adjacent angles have a common vertex and a common arm, but no common interior points, we can't say they are adjacent angles. Okay, they should not have any common interior points. Okay, see, we can say two adjacent angles be supplementary, two adjacent angles be complementary. These are all not needed. But generally, only one thing. Two angles we can say. The pair of angles we can say at adjacent angles if it satisfies the three conditions. Common vertex, common arm, and the non-common arm should be the either side of the common arm. So that's it. So next topic is linear pair. So from the word pair itself, we can say two. Okay. So linear pair. So what is a linear pair? Means the sum of the two angles. The sum of the two angles will be equal to 180 degrees, and they are adjacent. Okay, the pair is a linear pair. Okay, the sum of the two angles is 180 degrees is the first condition. Second condition is they should be adjacent angles. There should be adjacent angles, then we can say the pair of angles as linear pairs. Linear pairs. So the linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays. See, for example, we have like this. Non-common are opposite rays. Okay, we have like this. This is 90. This is also 90 degrees. So that will be O, A, B, C. So we have to find whether this is adjacent angles or not. This is the first step. What does the adjacent angle mean? They should have common vertex. O is a common vertex. OC is a common arm. And the two non-common arms OA, OB are either side of the OC. That also satisfied. So all three conditions satisfied. So this pair of angles, we can say it as adjacent angles. Okay. Second condition is the sum of these angles will be 180. So we said this is 90 degrees. We said this is 90 degrees. So 90 plus 90 will be equal to 180 degrees. So we can say this pair of angles, okay, pair of angles A, O, C and B, O, C are linear pair of angles. Are linear pair of angles. If you have any doubt, if we add OA plus BC, we will get 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. So this is the meaning of linear pair angles. Okay, linear pair of angles. And next, we can say, we can take the next part, vertically opposite angles. Okay, so first we'll see what are vertically opposite lines. Next we'll see what is vertically opposite angles and conditions in a vertically opposite angles. So what are vertically opposite angles? Means the angles. See, when two lines they intersect. Okay, intersect at a common point, then we can say these are intersecting lines. Okay, so first we should know what is intersecting lines. If two lines they intersect at a common point, then we can say these two rays as this ray and this ray as intersecting lines. So let us be AB, let this be CD. So now they have a common point. So AB line and CD line, we can say it as intersecting lines. If the lines intersects, how many angles will be formed? First. So it's very easy to task, easy to find. So now OB, OA are two rays. And we have the angle between OA, OB and OA. So now another next one. OB, OD are two rays again. And this one another angle. OB, OC are again two rays. So this will also form an angle. OC and OA are another two rays, and this will also form an angle. So how many angles will be formed? Four angles will be formed if two lines intersect each other. So and the condition here, okay, how can the condition here? So we can intersecting angles. In intersecting lines, the opposite angles will be equal. That is why they are known as vertically opposite angles. So what the condition is? This angle AOD and this angle BOC should be equal. What is the condition? If two lines are intersecting, then opposite angles should be equal like that. AOD, BOC and AOC is equal to BOD. If these two conditions are equal, then these lines are intersecting, we can say. And if these are lines are intersecting, then these two angles are equal, we can say. So these are the two properties we are going to learn. So we can conclude that when the two lines intersect, the vertically opposite angles so formed will be always equal. Okay, always equal. So in this class, we had seen what are line, what is a type of line. Okay, what are the line segment, ray, angle we have found. What's an angle? When two rays intersect at a common point, when the two rays originate from a common point or they meet at a common point, the angle formed between them is known as angle. So and we can say when two lines meet or line segments meet, the angle formed is known as angle, we can say. So we have seen what are the types of angles, such as acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle, straight angle, complete angle, zero angle. And instead of this, we had seen another two types of angles called supplementary angles, complementary angles. Complementary angles, the sum of the two angles will be 90 degrees, and supplementary angles, sum of the two angles will be 180 degrees. Then we can say such angles are called supplementary and complementary angles. And next, we had seen what are adjacent angles. The adjacent angles means they should follow three conditions. What are the three conditions? Common vertex, common arm, and the two non-common arms should be the either side of the common arm. And the third, next we have seen about linear pair of angles. So what are linear pair of angles? If two adjacent angles, if the sum of two adjacent angles is 180, then we can say linear pair of angles. And one more condition is in linear pair of angles, the two non-common arms will be vertically opposite to each other. Vertically opposite to each other. They will be opposite to each other. For example, come here. These two are two non-common arms. They will be vertically opposite to each other. This is linear pair of angles. And next we can see what are intersecting lines and what are the condition if the lines are intersecting. Intersecting lines are the lines which are formed when two lines or line segments they intersect. If they intersect, how many angles will be formed? Four angles. And what is the condition? The two opposite angles, the vertically opposite angles will be equal. So these are the new points we have learned in this new class. Try to solve exercise 5.1, and if you have any doubts, you can post in the comment box so that I would answer for you. Thank you. Let's meet in next class.